But I'm just saying, looking at the running back position on our team, what running back do we have that's going to be healthy for a whole season that we're going to be able to push 1,000 yards out of?
I
That's
mean,
what I'm
if you look
saying.
at the NFL these days, do you really need a 1,000-yard rusher to win a Super Bowl? I mean, Miles Sanders with the Eagles, he didn't go over 1,000 yards, but he got to the Super
Listen,
Bowl.
I don't give a fuck how they win it. I'm telling you how I win it, how we win it.
No, I'm saying
Baltimore
is,
wins.
I'm saying it's going to be I think it's going to be a little bit more balanced offense at this point. I don't for River. I don't really think you need a 1,000-yard rusher. If you could get a rusher to at least give you 800 to almost 900 yards in a season, on top of what Lamar gives you running the ball and throwing the ball, you don't really need a 1,000-yard receiver.
Hmm. I
mean, not receiver, running back. I'm sorry.
Okay, so again, okay, I absolutely. If that's how you feel, I feel like whatever, you're playing a one-dimensional game at that point.
How?
If you don't have a successful running game and a successful running back, what fear do you have to make people load up the box?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
That's
not
why
saying that you don't.
Kansas
Like,
City
no,
had such a fucking hard time.
no. What I'm saying is, if you could get a back on there that can average at least 5 to 6 yards to carry, that is a threat in itself. To
Okay,
average 5 or 6 yards to carry.
but
Then you have
that,
two running backs.
in our offense, our running back, we run the ball at least 20 times a game on average. That is our average.
Which is fine.
Which is
fine. But if you could get a guy that's under 1,000 yards, if you could get two guys under 1,000 yards that average 5 yards to carry, I mean, listen, that's successful.
I don't care what you average a carry. I don't, because that means you can have 3 good rushing attempts, and the rest of them be for 2 yards. And because you had 3 big bursts, it averages out to make you look good.
But
no,
can we name the last 1,000-yard running back that won a Super Bowl in the last 5 years? Can we name one?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Exactly. You really don't need a 1,000-yard rusher. You can still run the ball 20 to 25 times as running backs, and you can still win the Super Bowl without having a 1,000-yard running back.
Okay, what top quarterback hasn't won the Super Bowl? That's what that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're talking about a regular team with a mediocre quarterback, a good system, a good wide receiver, a good running back, like a good overall team versus a team that's got 3 or 4 superstars. You know what I'm saying? Like Patrick Mahomes, it's fucking Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to have a great defense because he can put up a shit ton of points. He doesn't have to have a great running back because he can throw the motherfucker anytime, anywhere, any way, any position. That's what I'm saying. Like and for that, it's
they
not
run the ball 20 to 25 times in a game.
So you're telling me you think Joe Burrow would be as good as he is without Mixon?
I'm not saying that.
So, but
I'm not saying that. But Mixon didn't need 1,000 yards for them to go to the Super Bowl. He could be very effective and get close, though.
He did, though.
Yeah, he did. But did he really need it? No.
I mean, he did.
He didn't really need it, but he did more than just be 1,000-yard running back.
Listen,
he could catch the ball out the backfield. He was another receiver for Joe Burrow.
In our division, if you cannot run that motherfucking ball, you're done, son. The Bengals, the Steelers, the Browns, all
I'm not saying that. I still feel like you can have an effective running game while having 1,000-yard. I mean, look at Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is with the bum behind Cleveland Browns that go for 1,000 yards every season and don't even sniff the playoffs majority of his career.
Yeah, no, I mean,
same thing for Najee Harris. Najee Harris is good. He goes over 1,000 yards. They don't sniff the playoffs. Like, come on. Like, I think I understand that you want 1,000-yard running back, and I feel like you could still be feared if you're not under 1,000 yards. If you out there week in and week out, and you giving up, if you getting at least 5 to 6 yards a carry pound for pound, and you running that clock out, that's the most effectiveness that you need. and me as a coach, I don't need a thousand yard running back. If you could fear someone by running their asses over and you letting your presence be known, forget 1,000 yards. Let your presence be known on the football field, not to fuck with me. That's just how I feel. I was never when I played a little bit of running back because my idol is Jerome Bettis and I wore 36. I wasn't a thousand yard rusher, but I know damn well I made an impact where they said the reason why they call me D Train for a reason, and people still talk about it to this day. And I was never a 1,000 yard rusher. I didn't win a championship. We lost in the championship, but did it get us there? Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you just don't need that popular running back. But I understand your situation because of J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and those guys are injury prone.
That's what I just told you earlier. I just told you earlier. We made Justin Fournette a 1,000-yard rusher.
But if you could go get Ezekiel Elliott and he runs for 920 yards and still makes an impact, he's good. Y'all good with that?
No, I'm not good with that. If you're again. If you're playing behind our offensive line in our run-heavy offense, and even with Todd Monken spreading it out, we're still gonna run the ball a lot. If you don't think we're gonna run the ball, at least fucking I'm gonna say 35 to 45% of the time, easily. Like that's what I'm saying. There's no way we're gonna go less than 20 runs a game. If you're getting 20 times at a crack at that fucking ball and you can't average at least 100 yards, that's 5 yards a carry, homie.
It's a lot of running backs in the league that has 1,000 yards don't get 100 yards a game. Some of them come in bulks.
Yeah,
some of them come in bulks. If you look at the top running backs in the league in an 18 game span, they don't run for 100 yards a game.
Exactly. I'm saying. That's our team. That's our system. That's how we run it. Like that. That's why if you go and you look at how our guys play, when we have 3 or 4 guys playing throughout the season, where it's mix and match, where you can, it never ends well for us. It never ends well for the Ravens.
I think you can still run the ball effectively with the Baltimore Ravens if you give them 25, at least 20 to 25 carries a game.
Who's running the ball? J.K. Dobbins was on PUP list. We got Edwards, and then we got old ass Melvin motherfucking Gordon.
Which we both agreed on that they should have got Ezekiel Elliott. I think Ezekiel Elliott fits the system more than Melvin Gordon does. But I'm saying if you could go get Ezekiel Elliott and what happened with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, but if you could run with Ezekiel Elliott right now, I don't think Ezekiel needs to be 1,000-yard back, but he could definitely make an impact for y'all in the playoffs and your road to the Super Bowl.
I mean, my whole thing is it's 17 games now. If you can't get over 1,000 yards in 17 games of getting 15 to 20 carries a game, that's rough, bro.
You know why that's not happening a lot to a lot of running backs? Because now they're making it to where it's a running back committee.
Yeah, and
that's what makes it a problem with the 1,000-yard running backs, because now everything is running back committee at this point.
Yeah, no, and that's why they're devaluing the position, because it's stupid like that, bro. To me, you have a starting running back that's going to run the ball the majority of the time. You get a heavy back, and then you get a scat back. Those are the 3 running backs you should have on your fucking roster. You got a guy,
and they call all those by committee now.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. So when you're doing it all by committee like that, then there you go. That's why you got guys. You're gonna have a top guy have 800 yards in a season like that, dude. You're not gonna make it to the Hall of Fame like that. You're not gonna make it to the Pro Bowl like that. You're not. You know what I mean? And more likely, you're not gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't think, for me as a fan, I don't care for the Pro Bowl because the fans vote. I don't care for the Pro Bowl, so that's another story.
I be voting like a motherfucker for all the Ravens players.
Yeah, I'll vote for my own team. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the overall voting, like how they pick the players, a lot of good players do get snubbed just because of the fan voting, because it's a popularity contest at that point.